The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
What's your take on, I guess, the influence and the impact that the Jays has had on Australian hip hop?
Yeah, I don't think you could probably discount the impact that it's had. You know, it's a case of it's taken some acts and pushed them to you know, I think when Triple J first started, or when I first heard about it, they were giving more love to actual independent artists. Now, I don't know when their station management ownership changed hands and it started to go the path that it did maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe about then. But my understanding is before that, they did give love to independent artists, and they did give love to genres of music that weren't getting love elsewhere. They did operate as a big independent station, ultimately. That's the way I perceived it anyway. So that was cool, you know what I mean? But then when it obviously shape-shifted into what it's become, it's kind of discounted a lot of that, as we know, and it's gone into targeting a certain style that a certain person who has, you know, in my belief, or what I've been told, the overpowering decision on their plays. Now, I'm sure that guys and some of the indie programs throw obviously shit in promos that they get, or maybe guys that they like, but as a byproduct of the whole, or as a product as it stands, you know, you ain't going to get love in those circumstances, or in the big picture, unless you're actually making a certain style. So probably got a bit confused with what I'm saying there, but ultimately I think that when that initial transition of them starting to play more rap music and more hip hop, it had to have a profound impact, because those kids and people that weren't listening to any form of particularly local rap were actually starting to get it jammed into their cars and into their stereos and whatever. So, you know, I would like to think in the Hood's circumstance, you know, they probably were one of the real acts that set that off, you know. And, you know, I want to add a byline to that, saying that I'm not saying that the Hoods purposely made music to suit that. I feel like that they were the first act that their music is what some people liked, so they put it into their playlist. And all love and due respect to the Hoods, because they've never changed, you know, they've always done their shit. So then it was the case of everyone that wanted to do that started to learn over the next few years that we had to make that. And then as that changed, or something else came in and became a higher priority or more of a favourite in the station, well, then we had to follow that music. Or, you know, we'll make shit that sounded like that, because that's how we had to get to play. So Nosebleed's not getting played no more. You know, they're onto this shit. So we've got to emulate that now, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I think pushing local rap to the masses, because it was such, or is such a prolific station, you know, obviously it was going to have a profound impact on garnering more fans, listening and purchasing and supporting local music, you know. So yeah, it's had a place in it, that's for sure, man.
The lesson.